Today, we're going to be talking about scalping Bitcoin and how we can do this with a systematic approach so that we can take accurate entries and lock in the profits early. So make sure to like the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel, make sure to click that bell for notifications because we are bringing you the juiciest technical analysis and trading strategy videos here on YouTube. I want to walk you through step by step how I was able to take these 5 trades today, these 5 scalp trades, the short, the long, the short, the long, and now currently another long. In fact, I am still holding this long right now. A few things I want to go over. Guys, first of all, when we are scalping, let's talk about what scalping is not. This is very, very important. Scalping is not chasing price, trying to catch the wave. When you see a big purple candle, maybe you're going to try and short it. If you see a big blue candle, maybe you're going to try and long. It's not even trying to catch a reversal. If you see a big dump, you're not going to try and long. Scalping needs to be approached with a very methodical, systematic plan. Every single trade that you are going to be taking here needs to be planned out. And let's also discuss what exactly is scalping. Scalping is a way to extract money from the market utilizing small moves, also using very, very good risk to reward ratios. And what I mean by that is this. If you take a look at the long that I'm in right now, I literally only need a 0.05% stop loss. I've already locked in a profit, stop losses to the entry. And now my final target for the trade is a 1.14% move. This means right now this is 19 times more potential reward than risk. So scalping needs to be planned very systematically, taking advantage of small movements in the market using good risk to reward ratios. We're going to be breaking this down for you exactly how we are going to be planning this. But before we do it, I just want to show you guys, so that you know I'm being honest with you here, that these are actual trades that I have taken myself today, the ones that I showed you at the beginning of the stream. If we take a look in the Discord, we can see that, yes, not including the long that I'm in now, but I did take the short, the one you saw at the beginning of the stream. Then I took the first long, then I took that next short, which I'm actually currently still in as well. And then I took the long, and now I'm currently in this long. These are all trades I have taken. So the first thing that we need to do when we are scalping is we need to have a plan. We need to come to the chart. And the first thing we need to do, at least what I do every single day when I'm planning out my scalp trades, is I need to identify the key levels that I am looking for a trade. I need to know in advance, where are the trades that I am already looking to take for that day. If you don't know the level that you are looking to take a trade from, how in the world are you going to catch a move like this one right here, where literally we caught it from the exact bottom? And all the long trades that I've taken today, I have literally caught from the exact bottom. It's because I was ready and waiting for that specific level. Okay, that is very, very key right here. And so what I do every day is I come to the chart and I make a plan. I mark out my key levels, and these are going to be zones of confluence. And for me, what I like to do is I like to go into my Discord, and this is basically where I make my plan for the day. I come to the chart and I'm going to be making a plan. And for me, like some people keep a journal, for me, I come to the chart, I find out where are the areas that I'm interested in trading. So for example, today I was interested, well, we can even go back all the way to yesterday and say I was interested in taking this short trade if we reclaim 25,285, right? If we come above 25,285 and we get the bearish divergence on the 4-hour time frame, I will be looking to take a trade. But then today, when I came to the chart, I was looking for those zones of confluence, right? So I was saying to myself, where are the levels where price is very likely to find support where I can look for a scalp trade? And so we always need to approach the chart as if we are trading a sideways range, because most of the time we are trading a sideways range. And so let's look at the chart right now. And I just kind of want to walk you through this process of how I actually do come about looking for the trades. So what we're going to do is we're going to be taking a look at the chart right here. And if we come to a blank chart, right, I'm going to actually clear everything off right now so that we can kind of see what exactly we would do if we just came to a blank chart. We are always going to be looking to identify sideways ranges. When we are scalping, we want to identify sideways ranges. Why? Because it goes back to the most basic thing about trading or investing, which is buy low and sell high, right? Buy low and sell high. If we can identify areas of high and low, we will then be able to identify areas where trades are likely to take place. So for the short trade, right, this was a very clearly defined high. So I knew if we were going to come above that clearly defined high with bearish divergences, that would be the place that I would look to take a trade. Now, why this level right here, the current long that I'm still in? It's because if we go down to the daily time frame, we can actually see that yesterday's daily candles closed right at this exact level at 24,283. And that can actually now give us an area of support where we can be looking for a potential long trade when we come back down to these lows, okay? We're always looking for sideways ranges, but if we just draw a line through the middle of this range, we can see clearly we have highs here, we have the middle point here, which can act as a high or a low, and then of course we have our main low right down here as well, right? So this is what we need to do. We need to be coming to the chart, and then we need to be looking for confluence. So there's other things we can do, like pull Fibonacci's. Like we could pull a fib from here to right here. And see that not only are we coming down to this daily level, but we're also coming down to a Fibonacci golden pocket retracement. We can pull a fib from this low down here to the high and see that, look, we have another potential long to take from these lows. We have a low, and then we can see if we come back to the low, not only is it a low that we see with our eyes, but it's also a golden pocket, right? So we are going to then be looking for these levels on the chart where we know price is very likely to get some kind of a reaction there, right? Price is likely to get some kind of a reaction. So once we know what levels price are very likely to have a reaction, we need two things. We need to plan how are we going to get into the trade if price comes to the level, and then we need to plan how are we going to get out of the trade if price comes to the level and things go either correctly for us and our plan is actually playing out, or things go wrong and our plan is not playing out. And for this, we need a few things. We need a series of confirmations that are going to get us into a trade, okay? We need to have a plan. We need to have the level in advance. We need to plan for what type of confirmation is going to get us into the trade. We need to have a planned stop loss, and we need to have a planned take profit. Now, let's kind of walk through how this would work in real time, or I guess in hindsight. So in my Discord this morning, by the way, if you want to join the Casper Crew VIP Discord, where we give the trade setups in advance, we do 3 live streams a day walking you through this price action. We're constantly updating in here, telling you where our mind is at. Myself and other really good traders in here have our own private TA channels. This morning, I was looking, after I gave my general trading plan, I was looking for this potential scalp long. I had an idea. My idea was, I see that we're forming a bearish rising wedge pattern with the target at one of those key areas of confluence that I had marked on my chart. So that was my level. That was my plan. I was interested in a scalp if we came down to the level of around 24.5-ish, 24,520 to 24,550. Right? And what did I want to see to get me into that trade? I wanted to see bullish divergences on market Cipher B. This is one of the best confluences you can have to get into a trade, is if you see bullish divergences on market Cipher B. So you can see actually for the trade I'm currently in right now, I did say right before the trade happened that we have this fresh daily level. I will be looking to long this daily if we get bullish divergences on market Cipher B. So what exactly is a bullish divergence? We'll come over to our chart here. A bullish divergence is basically when the price is making a lower low, but the oscillator is making a higher low, something like this right here, okay? Price is making a lower low into a key zone. The oscillator is making a higher low, resembling, strangely enough, a set of uneven butt cheeks, okay? Uneven butt cheeks like this. In fact, if we take a look at a picture, we can see this is what market Cipher B should be looking like when we come down to one of those levels. Now, the higher the time frame you see this, the juicier the potential trade setup, right? If we're only seeing it on the 1 minute, we can expect a nice scalp. If we're seeing it on the 12-minute, the 24-minute, the 1 hour, the 4 hour, we could expect more of a swing-ish trade, right? Which is why you can see the short trade that I am in right now, I'm treating this more like a swing trade because we saw the bearish divergences on the 4 hour time frame and down, potentially looking to hold this down to lower targets. So basically, we can enter trades as a scalp because we're identifying those key levels in a small sideways range. But if we understand the larger context of the market, we could decide to hold it for a little bit longer. It will determine where we're going to take profits, but we're going to get into that in a second. But this is what we should be looking for. But going back to the Discord channel today, we had a plan. We were looking for potentially coming down after forming that rising wedge that we saw right over here. Let's take a look. Yeah, this was the general plan. We knew what confirmations we were looking for. And then, of course, when we came down to there, look, we get the bounce exactly from that zone. And we did see bullish divergences, not necessarily on market cipher, but we did see it on exocharts. And by the way, guys, if you want to take advantage of this volatility scalping these markets with 0% limit fees on ByBit, you can click the link in the description. This will give you 0% limit fees. Also, if you deposit $100, you will get 1 month free of the Crypto Fusion trading bot. And by the way, guys, we have 20% discount on both of our courses at jasoncaspertrading.com. The basic course will actually teach you how to do this systematically and do it right with complete swing trade, day trade, and scalp trading tutorials going into much more depth than I can possibly go in this video. Also, we have an advanced course. This will basically go over how to read a chart like this, an order flow chart and stuff like that. And if you click the Jason Casper trading bot, this will give you more information about the Crypto Fusion trading bot. 14-day free trial for everybody who signs up. 1 month free trial if you deposit $100 on ByBit. So that is the promotion that we have going on right now. So the next thing we need to do after we have our confirmations to get us into the trade is we need to have a clearly defined plan. How are we going to get out of the trade if things go wrong? Something that is very, very key when it comes to scalp trading is that we are risking very, very little on the trade, but we're going to have the potential to earn a lot of reward. And the way we're going to be doing this is with very, very clear entries and exits. Before we enter the trade, we have to have a clearly defined stop loss and take profit. And what I like to do is always make sure that there's more upward potential than there is downward potential if you're longing, and there's more downward potential than there is upward potential if you are shorting. Now you can see right here, this was my trade setup. It was basically a 3-to-1 risk reward ratio, meaning there's 3 times more potential reward than risk. And basically the juicier you can get your entry, the better it is for your trade. Let me go into a little bit more detail here and kind of explain what exactly I mean by that. When we are scalping, the thing that's so powerful about scalp trades is that we can put a lot of money on the trade while risking very little. For example, I knew that I was longing a very particular level here. I knew I was longing a very, very particular level down here, meaning my trade idea would have been wrong if price came down 0.05% lower than my entry, right? What does this mean? This means I could put a lot of money on the trade. I could use very high leverage, and I could still be risking very, very little. In fact, if this trade had gotten stopped out, I would have risked less than 1/3% of my entire trading stack on this scalp trade. Basically, a no loss. But the potential here is so great because compared to my stop loss, my final target for the trade is way up here. This is basically giving me 19 times more potential reward than risk. And I've already taken half the trade out, hit a nice take profit one very early, moved the stop loss to the entry. And that is another thing that is very, very necessary. But especially when it comes to scalping, right? Scalping, we need to be quick in, quick out, and then if it runs, we let it run, right? Quick in, quick out. If it runs, we let it run. But risk management is very key. Basically, what we need to make sure is that for every trade we take, regardless of our entry, that we're only risking the same amount of our stack per trade. For me, that's anywhere between 1/3 to 3% of my total stack, okay? So if my stop loss, for example, has to be down here for the scalp trade, that means I need to be putting a much smaller position on the trade so that I can risk 1% of my stack if the trade goes against me. But think of it this way. If I only need my stop loss to be right here, I could put much more on the trade because if I get stopped out, I'm losing much less from that stop loss than I would be from a stop loss much, much lower than that. Okay, so this is very important because if we don't have an exit plan for these scalp trades, what's going to happen is we're going to start taking very big losses. And the key for scalping is you have to make sure that your wins are always going to outweigh your losses, which is why we look for such precise levels on the chart. It's literally when we're scalping, if we don't get that immediate bounce from the level, you basically need to get out of the trade. If we don't get that immediate bounce from the level, you basically need to get out of the trade. So you're looking for an immediate reaction from the level. Understanding that if you get stopped out, in this case, it was a very, very small stop loss, like a 0.1%, like a 10th% stop loss for the trade, even less than that, right? And so that is what we're going to be doing, understanding that we're not going to be gambling here. We are basically putting the probabilities in our favor, saying, I know what level is likely to give me a reaction. I know what confirmations I'm looking for on my oscillator or whatever else you're using to get into the trade. I know where my stop loss should be. I know where my take profit should be. Now, if you hit a few of these a day, you can rack up small wins over the day, and it can actually add up pretty dang nicely. In fact, this is my 5th trade of the day. And on average, I'm making anywhere between $100 to $400 per scalp trade, right? Multiply that by 5 and you've got, maybe like $700 total just by taking these small scalp trades. And of course, the amount of money you make is going to vary depending on your position size and all that kind and how much capital you're trading with. But the small gains do add up over time. Something else that's very key, guys, is moving your stop loss to the entry after a take profit. So for me, what I like to do is I like to basically take profit the first place that really does make sense, right? So for me, the first place that made sense after this bounce was as soon as we took out the last high that we had put in here before putting that low, that's where I'm going to lock in profit. You might say, Jason, that's kind of dumb. It's not dumb. Here's why. Take a look, even if we just take our profit out at that level, right? Understanding that we need a very, very small stop loss here. We're going to go ahead and use our long position from our entry. We know that our stop loss needs to go under the wick. We're bouncing from our level exactly. It's a 0.04% stop loss. Basically, guys, that means as soon as we take out that old high, this right here is even still. It's kind of hard to see. But this is still, if we take a look at this trade setup, a 7-to-1 risk reward just for a little scalp trade like this. That means even if we're taking this trade, even with a take profit so early, there's still more gain potential here than there is risk potential. So these are important things. And if you want to learn more about how to do this, I do recommend you check out the course at jasoncaspertrading.com. We've got a 20% discount going on right now. In the course, guys, we do have the swing trading tutorial, the scalping tutorial, the day trading tutorial. This will give you that system so that you can come to a chart, a blank chart, make multiple plans for multiple assets, and then wait for those setups to come to you. So I just wanted to make this video, guys. May God bless everybody in the name of Jesus the Messiah. I know not everybody's religious here, and that's totally okay. But I do pray everybody is very, very blessed, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.